And so the way we plan for our border, the way we design our border, can have huge economic and security benefits at the same time, provided we have a plan. I'm Michael Outram, former Border Force Commissioner in Australia. Before that, I had a number of years as a law enforcement officer in policing in Australia and the United Kingdom. For most people, a border is the point of passport control, the e-gate or the smart gate, or the customs declaration, and that's understandable. But the border is in fact a really complex system that runs across multiple domains, involves trade, travel, capital, data. I think in the last 10, 20, 30 years we've had very stable trading conditions, really since World War II, since Bretton Woods. The world rules-based system, as we call it, has been very stable, and that's changed over the last few years. And this impacts on borders, because borders not only transmit benefits into our economy and prosperity, but also risk. And for border management, that means that we have to connect the dots across multiple domains. Digital technology is changing everything in terms of risk management, but also in terms of the risks and threats that we face. Criminals are early adopters of cryptocurrency, for example. The crypto economy is worth several trillion US dollars per year now, so it's not immaterial. And of course that means that traditional money laundering is an issue, but also things like sanctions evasion, where payments are obscured from regulators, trade-based money laundering, where trade in goods is mislabeled, misdescribed, origins obfuscated and things like that. So all of a sudden the digital economy becomes a way that criminals can avoid regulation and enforcement. At the moment, industry and the world, the globe, is adopting AI at pace. Supply chains are complex, they change every day, every minute, and AI agents and AI augmented decision making are becoming par for the course. In Australia, we rely on the integrated cargo system for our trade, 1.2 billion transactions a year, but it's a quarter of a century old. It's a mainframe system. It cannot cope with the scale and the speed and the volume of data that we have available to us today. It's difficult to create a system that can handle all that data, but there are models evolving, and federated learning systems is one such model. In federated learning, it protects privacy, it protects confidentiality of information, but allows the system to learn by sharing risk signals through machine learning. The key takeaway for this paper is that economic security and economic resilience are now part of national security, and that in that context, borders really matter, but they're being under-leveraged, and they could provide so much more value from a security and an economic point of view. The risk of doing nothing is that we go backwards. If we want things to stay as they are, things have to change. If you look at the world in which we operate today, it's more complex, it's more contested, it's less stable. And all of that uncertainty and risk in a world that's technologically driven, with huge amounts of data moving around, is something that we have to engage with.